Let's talk about another guy that was a transfer to Auburn, coming from Oklahoma, and Jackson Arnold. The offense really struggled, Patrick, in the second game in the SEC. A really tough task to go from Norman, Oklahoma. You come back home for a few days, then you go to College Station to play Texas A&M. The offense, let's just keep it 100 there. It was abysmal, and it was not great in the Oklahoma game, but give a lot of credit to the Oklahoma defense. But in the Texas A&M game, it looked really bad. There you see some of the detailed numbers. A 5-sack game for the Auburn offense after a 9-sack game the week before.
You cannot win games in the SEC when your offensive line sacks are a two-pronged equation. It's either the offensive line isn't protecting or your backs aren't protecting, or you hold onto the football for too long. And I feel like in Auburn's case, it's a mix of both. But 14 sacks in the last 2 games. And then you go and throw out 177 total yards of offense on the road.
Right.
I mean, I think someone made the comment. I don't know if it was on air or something. Was it? It was Jesse Palmer. Yeah. Jesse Palmer made the comment of, if they just rolled out the defense, they might have had a better chance. But, it really is unfortunate because this Auburn team is so close to being good. They have an elite defense. And the lone touchdown came after a 73-yard interception return that got him down to the 2-yard line.
Right. And that was the only way they were mustering up some offense, and that was Jackson Arnold using his legs. And he's been able to do that throughout the course of his career, is use his legs, but not necessarily his arm. And I think another big thing about this Auburn football team is they were unable to move the chains at all. 0 for 13 on third down. Those are just drive kills. Those are just demoralizing for any offense. 0 for 13 on third down, 0 for 2 on fourth down, and that comes with, as you mentioned, they have weapons. Cam Coleman might be one of the best receivers in all of college football. Eric Singleton Jr., who's right there, he's another really good star player for this football team. I know Damari Alston is hurt in their backfield, but Jeremiah Cobb has really shown that he could be a star running back for this team as well. It just feels like that Auburn is in one of those really frustrating spots for them, and it's bad when your defense is bad but your offense is good. You at least just figure out we can win some shootouts.
Right.
When it's the other way around and your defense is really, really good and your offense is bad, that could be soul-sucking for a football team and really demoralizing.
It's even worse in my opinion because defense wins championships. Everyone says that all the time, but in this case, it could be true for Auburn.
Yeah.
All they have to do is just string together a few good drives on offense.
Right.
And Gerhard, they are 2 plays away from being 5-0 right now.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Instead, they sit 3-2 with a couple of losses on the road, and it feels like it's just another year for Auburn. But, they are this close. Mm-hmm. You look at the Oklahoma game, you're 1 play away there. You almost beat John Mateer, who we didn't know at the time he was hurt.
Right.
And now we know. And then you almost go to Kyle Field, arguably the hardest place to play in college football, and you nearly get a win there.
Yeah, and against a really good Texas A&M team. And I want to give them their flowers as well because Texas A&M has played really well. They went to South Bend, got a win over Notre Dame. Obviously, that was a way more higher scoring game than the Auburn game was. But I feel like Texas A&M, they continue to prove to everybody that this team can be legitimate. And I know we joked and you joked last week that the 8-4 is just around the horizon. And Mike Elko has talked about, hey, believe in us. Don't believe that what we were is going to be what we're going to be. I still think that this team, they're not perfect by any means, but they're trending in the right direction.
They're definitely trending in the right direction, and it was interesting to see because Auburn played so well on defense. Yeah. The fact that Texas A&M was still able to come out with a win. I think in years past, this is a game that the Aggies lose. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you look at the Texas game last year, for example.
Right.
They played great defense. They held Quinn Ewers to, I believe, one of his, I don't want to say his worst game of his career, but one of his worst. Sure. Yeah. And you just were unable to get the win because your offense wasn't good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to still pump the brakes a little bit on the Aggies because, yes, they started last year 7-1.
Yeah.
But we saw
that. Yeah.
We saw how that ended.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's about putting together 60 good minutes 12 times.
So you're still 10 toes down on 4 losses.
I don't know about 4 losses still.
Okay.
But I don't think they make the college football playoff.
Okay. I'll check the odds on that because I'm sure right now.
I'm sure they're pretty high.
Yeah, I'm sure that right now they're pretty high. So if you don't think they will make it, I'm sure right now if you want to lay a bet against, I always hate those future bets when you have to tie up money 6 weeks into the future. But it's a really interesting, in my opinion, it's an interesting scenario with this football team because they play Mississippi State next week in a game, like you said in your overreactions. You said it last week that you think Mississippi State is going to win that football game.
Yep.
And then they play Florida, and then they play Arkansas. 3 teams right now that aren't world beaters.
Right.
These aren't world beating football teams. Do you, outside of Mississippi State, do you like? I could see this team making a run. I could see them going into the bye week, maybe going to the LSU game with still a 0 in the loss column.
I think it's going to be – they're going to lose one of those games, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas. I just don't know which one. I think it's going to be the Mississippi State one, but I can't be certain. But I do think that they head into their off week with 2 losses.
Okay.
I just don't – in my honest opinion, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yeah. Keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck. There's just no way they beat LSU.
You don't think so?
Death Valley.
Yeah.
No, really.
In Death Valley. Yeah, I forgot that game is in Baton Rouge. That will be interesting because I didn't think so. I didn't think so either. But they will be able to rely on their game against Notre Dame. Now they gave up They gave up 40 points, but they were able to go into hostile territory and pick up a win. That has to make them feel good. But they did give up 40 in that football game, and you could make an argument they should have lost that football game.
And I will also make an argument that the Notre Dame defense has been abysmal this year.
Yes, they
outside of the Arkansas game.
Right.
But
and that's not
Arkansas
the case.
Just lost their coach.
Right.
So
and that's not the case with LSU. LSU's got a really good defense. And
when you give up 30 points to Purdue, that's kind of bad.
yeah, exactly.
That's really bad.
Exactly. So that is Texas A&M and Auburn. We got a chance to hear from Aggies head coach Mike Elko. Last week he said, "Hey guys, celebrate us." Now he's talking again after another big win over the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, again, I think when we play together as 11, we can be good. I think there have been times where we have been significantly better on defense this year. We've had breakdowns that have caused issues. Today we didn't. We didn't give up the explosive plays. We leveraged the football well. We kept the ball inside of us today, and because we did that, the only explosive they had was the one catch Singleton made, which was a phenomenal catch. And if you force people to earn it, we've got a shot to do some things.
So he's still cautiously optimistic, feeling really good about his football team, as he should feel really good about his football team. They got a bye last week before the Auburn game. Auburn gets a bye week this week before another really tough test in the Georgia Bulldogs. It feels like this schedule isn't – we knew it in the beginning of the season, but it is an absolute gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just – you look at it and you think about the games that you should have won, and now it just is ever so apparent, like, man, if you could have – gotten a win this past weekend against Texas A&M, or if you could have managed to pull out the win in Norman, you could be sitting in a really nice spot right now. But I mean, when you look at this Auburn schedule ahead, and it's just like, man, you gotta, they're must wins at this point.
Oh, absolutely, and you hate to have must wins against teams that have a little number by their name, and that's the case with this Auburn football team. They play Georgia, who will be, I would think, I know that Georgia plays this week, but I think Georgia will be an angry football team, especially after losing to Alabama. They will be on a in my opinion, they will consider that Auburn game as a must-win game. They will consider every game they play in as a must-win game as they move forward, because let's just say 3 SEC teams make the playoffs. They want to be one of those 3, and losing to Alabama, they're behind the 8 ball. So you have Georgia, then you have Missouri, which in my opinion, Missouri right now
sleeper
might be the most underrated team in the SEC. I know they're ranked, but they're ranked behind teams that, in my opinion, they are better than going into the season.
They will never get respect.
Yes,
Missouri Tigers will never get respect.
Right.
I mean, they had Luther Burden last year, who was really good.
Yeah,
and didn't really get any respect. But granted, they also lost some games that they shouldn't have. If they had Bo Pribula at quarterback, I believe last year that Missouri team would have made the playoff. But I mean, they're constantly slept on.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just you named it. You got Georgia.
Yeah.
You got Missouri.
Yeah.
On your schedule, and you got to win them both.
Yeah.
And then you got to win the ones the rest of the way if you want to slip into that 3rd SEC team to make the playoff.
Right.
It's not a situation you want to be in, but I mean, you got to take it one play at a time. I mean, we almost saw a crazy comeback this weekend in the Ryder Cup.
Yeah,
that's
take
true.
It
one play at a time.
That's true. You just got to take it one play at a time. Eat the elephant, one bite as they say. But I just made a statement, and people might be asking who and what. I said Missouri is ranked behind teams I think they're better than. The natural follow-up would be who. I think Missouri is better than Florida State.
Yep.
I think Missouri is better than Georgia Tech.
Yep.
I think Missouri might be better than Iowa State. Now, I always say as a better win, they have a better resume.
Missouri's better than
right now, but I think Missouri's better than Iowa State right now on a neutral field as well. So, I mean, ranked 20th right now, but that is, or 19th right now. That is no gimme there for the Auburn Tigers as they get ready for that win in the next few weeks.